The Garden Report is brought to you by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.
Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to a practice edition of the Garden Report before the Celtics head on the road for their first extended road trip of the season against the Nets, Timberwolves, as well as the 76ers. And the second unit, a big focus today, as well as last night. So they got an extra work here, half-court scrimmages. Joe talked a little bit more about the film session that they had between all of those guys after the rough game against the Wizards. Lost, I believe, about 19, 20 points on that lead and ended up making it a 19-point game by the end of it. Celtics led by 30-plus in that game at Washington. Last night, obviously the complete opposite. Extended the lead to 51, the second highest point total in Celtics history against the Pacers last night. And obviously a response and reducing turnovers, focusing more on the rebounding and playing with more structure, which Payton Pritchard got a lot of credit for. Still looking for those guys to mix in with the starters more effectively. And Lamar Stevens on the court for a long time, played great in that closing stretch again, dunking, playing some five. As Luke Cornett continues to struggle, I do think that's something worth keeping an eye on. And O'Shea Brissett continues to be that first forward off the bench in the rotation in the front court alongside Sam Hauser among the new guys. So what are they capable of? Still a big thing to watch, I think, on this road trip for this team, especially if they're going to be building these kind of leads and creating opportunities for those guys. There's a big sense, and I've talked to pretty much all the players on that bench, of learning how to play with each other. It's a new look group. It's a mix that in recent years, when you think of the Blake Griffins and the Mike Muscalas and those types alongside Cornett, Hauser, Pritchard, built a lot of chemistry and cohesion throughout the course of those years, to the point where when they were called upon some of those rest nights later in the year, they were more ready.
FanDuel is the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
And Mazzulla did tease some off nights coming up in the next homestand here. It's a back-to-back next Friday. I think you can almost guarantee Al Horford will sit out one of those. But he also said they can mix in some other rest nights for players in those type of situations in the weeks ahead here as they try to manage this roster and keep everybody healthy, which is going to be especially important with some of the uncertainty of the second unit there. Already missing two guys who could have potentially been part of that. Neemias Queta, still dealing with the foot injury, didn't practice today, and it's possible he could miss as much as a week or more as he continues to deal with what's described as a lingering injury, something he had an MRI on. Got defined as a stress reaction with the Kings before he signed with the Celtics during Summer League. It ended that Vegas slate for him early. So we'll see when he's able to get back on the court. It's obviously tough that he would have had opportunities in these last two games to play late and couldn't get out there. Jordan Walsh up in Maine now. Mazzulla said yesterday they're looking for him to get those consistent reps, minutes, and opportunities with the Maine Celtics, who are going to start their schedule in just about a week here at the Showcase Cup on the road. So those two guys aren't going to impact the team for now. Looking at the O'Shea Brissetts, the Svi Mihailuk's, there's still great confidence in Sam Hauser and Payton Pritchard primarily as those guys who are actually mixing in with starters throughout the flow of games. It's still an open competition, I'd say, for the taking if anyone's able to step up there and make an impact. That's primarily what we were talking about at practice today because of the fact that the Celtics beat the Pacers by 51. Still hard to believe. TD Garden last night, 4-0, no losses in sight. The starting lineup's clicking, a lot of cohesion. Kristaps Porzingis talked about that today and how they can get even better, something Drew Holiday mentioned last night as well, so look out for that on CLNS Media. We'll have more coming this weekend on that formative game for Joe Mazzulla as a coach last year in March when the Celtics blew a 28-point lead to these Nets, who they're going to take on next on Saturday in Brooklyn. Stay tuned for that and more on CLNSmedia.com. Celtics All Access here on YouTube and CLNS Media for all the pressers, shoot-around coverage, and more. Coming as we head down to New York, as well as Philadelphia, for coverage of this road trip. Follow along here with me. And for now, I'm Bobby Manning. This has been a practice edition of the Garden Report.
Ever wish you could navigate the betting field with the confidence of a pro? Enter Odds Are. They're not a sports book, but they're the sports betting advisor you always needed. It's like having a playbook for smarter bets right in your pocket. I've been absolutely loving the experience, and I think you will too, especially since Celtics All Access listeners get a 30-day free trial. Elevate your game day and join the smart betting revolution. Go get it at oddsr.com/Celtics. That's oddsr.com/Celtics.